You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, here we go, guys. So we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl yet again. This time we're going to be talking about the commercials from the Super Bowl. Now, when I was actually watching the Super Bowl, was I overly impressed with the commercials? Not really. I believe some of them were okay. They were okay. I believe Super Bowl commercials, they used to be really, really good back in the day. Now it's pretty much, kind of the same stuff you've been seeing. So I guess the creativity when it comes to making Super Bowl commercials really, really good, I believe those days are kind of gone. They are. Now, when you have Super Bowl commercials, companies put forth a lot of money for these commercials. If I'm not mistaken, this year, I believe it cost something like $7 million for a 30-second spot for Super Bowl commercials. And there's only so many commercials out there. I'm a capitalist. You're going to give these spots to the people that actually want to fork over the money. But however, when it comes to the alphabet mafia, like GLAAD here, it will never, ever be enough. They are so focused on their agenda. They don't care about the Super Bowl. They don't care about the NFL. I mean, these people, they don't watch it. They don't watch it at all. But as you guys can see here, GLAAD has come out and they have slammed these Super Bowl commercials. Why? Because there was not enough alphabet representation to them. Now, in today's era, guys, the mainstream media really wants you to believe, that like 75% of people out there are a part of the alphabet mafia. The L's, the G's, the B's, the T's, the Q, LMNOP, But in reality, guys, it is probably less than 2-3%, something like that. But there's been a big focus on the T's, the last few years. The T's, boy, they have some big time privilege over anybody else. The things that are actually going on in schools, folks, it's disgusting. If you got kids in public schools, get them out. Get them out of schools. These schools are nothing more than indoctrination camps. And I guess GLAAD, they wanted propaganda to actually be put on the TV screen in these Super Bowl commercials. Let's get into this, guys. Let's read some of this. It says here, the folks over at GLAAD clearly didn't have a good time watching the Super Bowl on Sunday. It's because they probably didn't actually watch the Super Bowl. They were just waiting for the commercials. But anyway, the organization has blasted this year's lineup of commercials for their, quote, minimal LGBTQ LMNOP representation, saying brands need to do more to put LGBTQ people and issues into the mainstream conversation. You see, folks, issues. Actually, the Super Bowl commercials did have some people a part of the alphabet community. But GLAAD wants issues. In other words, they want alphabet propaganda. Now, if you actually had, let's say you just had a gay actor on screen, who's a good person I can actually think of that's actually gay out there right now? The guy that plays Dookie Howser. If you put him on the screen and he's just doing like a food commercial, let's say he's doing a commercial for Pizza Hut or something like that. He's up there. He's talking about the pizza, but he's not talking about any of the alphabet stuff. GLAAD seems to have a problem with that because they want the issues on there in addition to the people. But anyway, let's move on. In a post-game report, GLAAD also complained about the absence of intersectional representation during Fox's broadcast. My goodness. Quote, it's unfortunate that LGBTQ inclusive advertising was not more prevalent during the Super Bowl this year, GLAAD president and CEO Sarah Kate Ellis said in the report. And look here, this is a tweet here from GLAAD. We call on brands to leverage the audience reach and cultural impact of an event like the Super Bowl to bring LGBTQ people and questions into the mainstream conversation, said GLAAD President and CEO Sarah Kate Ellis. I always put the names together there on Twitter. Quote, though we saw a similar quantity of representation in 2022, there was a clear lack of intersectional representation. At a time when LGBTQ rights are being put in jeopardy through harmful legislation across the country, oh my goodness. You know, these states, they don't want kids getting groomed. So that's what they're talking about there. We call on brands to leverage the audience reach and cultural impact of an event like the Super Bowl to bring LGBTQ people and issues into the mainstream conversation. GLAAD counted only 4 commercials on Super Bowl Sunday that were, quote, LGBTQ inclusive. Who is this here? Rakuten's ad featuring Project Runway alum and fashion designer Christian Siriano. GM and Netflix's ad featuring Queer Eye stars Jonathan Van Ness and Antoni Porowski. Google's Pixel ad starring Dojo Cat, and the Doritos spot starring Elton John. Now, I don't remember these commercials, folks, but let's just take Elton John right there for a second. He's doing a Doritos commercial there. I'm pretty sure in that commercial that Elton John was just promoting the Doritos and not LGBTQ propaganda. I mean, it's a Doritos commercial. It's not an Alphabet propaganda commercial. And Elton John, the reason why he's probably in that commercial is because he's Elton John and not that he's gay. We all know that he's gay. Now, if they did put propaganda in that Doritos commercial, I doubt that they did. Hey, let us know that in the comments below. But it goes on here. The organization did praise the NFL for hosting a GLAAD event during Super Bowl weekend. I didn't even know about that. And for airing a halftime commercial featuring tennis star Billie Jean King. Now, like I said again, Billie Jean King, we all know that she is a part of the Alphabet community. But did that commercial, was she actually pushing Alphabet issues? I don't know. And the thing is, guys, they counted 4. Like I said before, the Alphabet community is roughly 2-3% of people. They were probably represented well by the percentage of people based on the country. As Breitbart News reported, GLAAD recently gave the Walt Disney Company a failing grade in its annual Hollywood LGBTQ inclusivity report, despite the fact that Disney has fully embraced transgenderism in its entertainment for children. Yeah, they have gone just completely nuts over there at the Walt Disney Company. Yeah, but I'm not surprised, guys. I'm not surprised that GLAAD has come out and put the Super Bowl commercials on blast. I mean, it will never, ever be enough for them. Guys, it could have been 50% of LGBTQ propaganda. And guess what? They would have still been complaining. You will never, ever be able to please these people. These people are GLAAD, trust me. They want over half of this country to be a part of the Alphabet community. And that's just not realistic. That's why they have all this stuff in your schools, stuff like that. They want more propaganda in your sport. I mean, we've done videos on the drag shows, the pride nights at games. And these hockey teams now, they're fighting back. They're like, nah, we're not going to wear these jerseys. I'm pretty sure that GLAAD did not like that either whatsoever. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.